Good morning, everyone. Welcome to an episode of Coffee Break with Card. It is La Hora del Cafecito's new sister show. I'm Olivia McDonald. I'm not Lourdes Quinones. I'm filling in as a lead host today, but I would still like to welcome you to our show. So Coffee Break with Card is a program dedicated to all of those in our community who are living with autism, to their family members, and to all of those who support them. So come join us. Sign in the comments below and let us know if you're also enjoying a cup of coffee, tea with us. So in today's program, we are going to be talking about how to deal with stress and anxiety. Yasmin is going to share with us some ideas, some considerations and strategies so that we can manage them effectively. I know this is a very timely topic for many of us, so join us. We have a lot to talk about. Before we get into that, I'm going to start by introducing you to our coffee break hostesses. So as I already mentioned, my name is Olivia McDonald. I am a professional in the field of public health and a card consultant assigned to the early childhood team. I am a mother of a 15-month-old toddler. He's not even a baby anymore. But I also have a younger brother diagnosed with autism. I am joined by my colleagues, Yasmin Castellano. Good morning, Yasmin.
Good morning, Olivia.
Maggie Aldana. Good morning, Maggie.
Good morning, Olivia.
So obviously, Lourdes Quinones, our brave leader, could not join us today as she's doing a training this morning. She'll be back for our next episode in 2 weeks, though. And I'll try and do you proud, Lourdes, by bringing lots of energy and your passion to the show today. So as you know, Yasmin Castellano is an excellent professional in the field of mental health. She is a card consultant assigned to the middle school to young adults team, and she is the mother of 3 children, one of whom is diagnosed with autism. Welcome, Yasmin.
Thank you, Lourdes. I'm sorry, Olivia.
You're so used to that, aren't you?
I know.
Maggie Aldana is an excellent special education teacher. She is the previous chair of CARD's constituency board and is the mother of 3 children, 2 of whom are diagnosed with autism. Welcome, Maggie.
Thank you, Olivia.
Before we get started, we want to review our program's rules that we want to adhere to ensure a safe environment for us all. So please remember to keep an open mind, a positive attitude, and to use respectful language. Before we get started, Yasmin, is there anyone that we need to greet from our audience?
Yes, and that's what I was dealing with. Trying to, get
lots of multitasking.
Yes, I was multitasking. So yes, we have Gloria Rodriguez that is here with us today.
Good morning, Gloria.
Hi, Gloria. Thank you for being here with us today, this morning. And we also have Chris with us. Hi, Chris. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, guys. Good morning. So again, for those of you kind of joining us a little bit later, so in today's program, we're going to be talking about how to deal with stress and anxiety, and Yasmin is going to share with us some ideas, considerations, and strategies so that we can manage them effectively. So please join us. Again, we have a lot to talk about. So let's get started. So Yasmin, my first question is, what is the difference between stress and anxiety?
So, Olivia, having occasional stress and anxiety is very normal. Not because I feel anxiety one day or it could be even every day, but within normal limits means that I have a disorder of anxiety. Actually, the American Medical Association defines stress as anything that interferes or disturbs a person's mental and physical well-being. And according to the American Psychiatric Association, anxiety is an emotion based on worried thoughts, physical changes, and feelings of tension.
And Jasmine, can you please explain the symptoms of stress and anxiety?
So the symptoms between stress and anxiety, they are very similar and they can overlap. For example, you can have headaches. You can overeat or undereat, and that would be me, undereating. Restlessness, you can have chest pain, that will be more into the anxiety part of it. Use drugs or alcohol, like increase the use of drugs and alcohol. Feeling overwhelmed, you can have change in your sex drive, social withdrawal, which we all know that social component for our people with autism is one of the challenges. Sadness, depression, with is also one of the things that our people with autism also is another of the challenges that they have. But this is not only for people with autism, this is also for us as well. uh, as a result of stress, we can have anxiety. uh, our muscle get tense or pain. You can have muscular pain, because I don't know if you guys, we have a saying in Spanish, like the monkey is on top of me, like is in here. It means when all this area in here is very uh, tense and it hurts. It's like hard, actually. Excuse me. You can have angry outbursts, or you can feel very irritable, and anything can, it's like the drop that spilled the cup. It's like I'm reacting to little things. Lack of motivation is also very hard to for you to focus on something or be concentrated on something, because you're just thinking about something else that is in your mind. Fatigue, you can start smoking or smoke more than usual. Your stomach can get upset, or you can have sleep problems. In terms of anxiety, that is, another level. It gets level up. You can feel tense, restless, very nervous. Your heart rate is going to increase. That you're going to have palpitations. You're going to feel sweating. You can feel very weak or tired. um, Sleeping issues, you won't sleep at all through the night, or you can oversleep. Like you can, it's like not enough, because your body feel very, very tired, and you're like, what's going on? I've been sleeping very well and I still get super tired. um, you struggle to control your worries. I mean, your brain and your mind keeps going into these thoughts, which are called racing thoughts. Is going on and on, and like replay. When you put a song on Spotify and replay, keep going on and on and on and on, it won't stop, to the point that you don't even notice that it's replaying on your mind sometimes. But not because you don't notice means that it's not affecting you, and your body is reacting to it. You start breathing rapidly, which is hyperventilation. Okay. And what that causes is that you're giving too much oxygen to your brain. You can even faint from it. You can get dizzy from it. And it's not that your sugar or anything is going down. Your blood pressure can go up as well. You can be have trembles, so like shaking. Like I said, stomach problems, trouble concentrating, and also you can avoid things or situations that can trigger the anxiety.
Okay. And what are the different types of anxiety disorders?
So as I was explaining, there's a stress and there's anxiety, because we all go through it. But then when those worries and fears are excessive, like they are a level up, as I would like to say, then it can become an anxiety disorder. That's a medical condition, mental health condition that requires for you to go and visit a professional, a psychiatrist, and there's nothing wrong with that, for medication management, and a therapist for you to learn the coping skills on how to better manage your anxiety, your thoughts, and your stress. Okay, and you reduce those levels of anxiety. I mean, anxiety and stress can really, as a consequence, I mean, you can have very bad physical reactions, and your heart and blood pressure and all that will react to it. And it's very dangerous. So the first one that I want to mention, the different types of anxiety, is agoraphobia, um, which is fear of avoidance to places or situations that might cause you panic or a feeling of being trapped, helpless, embarrassed. For example, it could be the mall, and there's a lot of people, it's a crowded area. It could be an elevator. It could be, I don't know, you're waiting in line for a ride at one of the parks, and it's, sometimes the rides take you through, it's kind of creating the ambient and take you through, inside an enclosed area, which is dark. There's a lot of people, and you can feel trapped in there and feel anxious. So that type of anxiety. You can have anxiety disorder due to a medical condition. I mean, if you have a terminal illness, or something that is very hard, cancer, or diabetes, or anything that is a medical condition that can cause you the anxiety or the panic. General anxiety disorder, which is the most common one and the one that I used to treat the most when I was at the office. And it's these excessive worries about daily life events. And again, the key word is excessive worries. Excessive. It's not that we don't worry about, it's excessive to daily life events. The worry is out of proportion to the actual circumstances. It is difficult to control and affects you physically. Like I was telling you, it can really affect your heart, your blood pressure, your brain. I mean, our body is going to react to it, physically speaking. The stress and the anxiety, it has to be released one way or another. If we don't release it effectively, the body is going to react to it. It's like like a pressure machine. It's going to go somewhere. It's going to explode somewhere. So if we don't release it, the body will. How? By having physical symptoms or illnesses, even a heart attack. We have the panic disorder, which is something that we hear a lot, and nowadays is used very commonly. And I think people have a mistaking of what a panic attack is, not because you going through X, Y, and Z difficulty in life, and you have the feeling to sit down and cry and just cry your eyes out, means that you have a panic attack. No, that's part of healing, and that's healthy. Crying is healthy. Crying is a good way of releasing that stress and the anxiety. But when you lose control over yourself, and you're hyperventilating, and what you see in front of you is not what is happening in front of you. It's like you have another vision of what is happening. It's like if you were looking at a movie, but that's your reality because that's what your brain is putting on you as your reality. However, it's not what is external. That's when we have the panic attack. We have selective mutism, and this happens a lot on kids. And what is happening is that wherever the child feels anxious, the child will not speak at that place. I had a child who was feeling very anxious to go to school, and she was totally muted, totally, she won't speak in school. However, when she was at home with mom and dad, she was speaking very well. But if there was a birthday party, boom, she will stop. She's not doing it consciously. Well, at the time she was not doing it consciously. And we have to work on, things that make her feel safe for her to really reduce that anxiety. We have the separation anxiety disorder. This is very common on little ones, and it's very normal on little ones. When you see, like, probably Olivia's and her baby, it's like, well, I'm gonna walk from my mom all to that table. But once I make to that table, I'm gonna look back to make sure that mom is there. Oh, she's still there. Okay, so I can move a little bit farther away. She's still there? Yeah, she's still there. Or when we leave the child in the preschool and they go, don't leave me. And they have that's, separation anxiety disorder. We see it also on pets, the dogs and the pets, they also feel that separation anxiety. Social anxiety disorder or social phobia, like we hear a lot, is when you have high levels of fear in social situations, feelings of embarrassment. Like, for example, when you have a school presentation and they ask you to, you have to be in front of class and present your project. That can be, a social anxiety. Again, if it goes to the next level. And specific phobias is when you are afraid to a specific object or situation. For example, I'm pretty sure that most of us are scared of cockroaches and rats or mice and any bugs that gets inside the house. At least I am. Does it mean that I have a specific phobia? No, because it means that, at the bottom line, when I have to deal with it, I deal with it. But if I see, let's say, a lizard on a picture and a cockroach on a picture, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to have a reaction or anything. But when people have these phobias, just the thought of it, the body starts to react to it. They really feel very anxious and very unease. We had the substance-induced anxiety. It is the result of the use of drugs that you feel that anxiety. And then we have the other specified anxiety, unspecified anxiety, which is a term that we use in mental health for those clients that have symptoms of anxiety, but it doesn't meet all the requirements or the criteria to be diagnosed under any of the classifications that I just mentioned. And Maggie, we have a couple of questions. Let me see. Okay, Kiara, you asking if I can please type the different anxieties? Yes, I will. I will definitely can type that in the comments. PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. That's another type of classification. You can have anxiety because of the trauma that you have. PTSD is the classification, the diagnosis that we provide when someone has gone through a traumatic event, and because of that traumatic event, the person displays some symptoms, but definitely anxiety can be part of also of the PTSD. However, not because someone has anxiety disorder means that it has PTSD. One thing doesn't have to do with another. Someone with PTSD can have anxiety disorder, yes, but someone with anxiety disorder not necessarily has PTSD, if that makes sense. I hope that clarifies, Kiara, your question. Kiara was also saying excessive worries to daily life events. Yes. Panic disorder, crying is healthy. I think she was typing selective mutism. Yes. Gloria is asking, how do you help a person with autism to manage their anxiety? Usually they don't know how to express their feelings. Yes. So Gloria, this is what I have done with what I have done with my daughter is that I use a feelings chart. Our kiddos with autism are very visual. So I have a feelings chart. First of all, when she's having this moment of anxiety or her meltdown, I let her be. I let her be. I let her, like, she's crying, she's crying. If she is expressing whatever she's expressing, we know that our kids have, and our people with autism has no filter. So if she feels that I've been the worst mother in the world, how come you brought me into this world? I don't deserve you. Everything that is in her mind, I let it be. And I understand not to take that personally at me, because that's not about me. It's about her and the situation that she's having at that moment. So that's very important for us as parents to detach. And it's hard because they're telling you all those, and those are very hurtful things, but try to detach and be present and be mindful in that moment that this is not about me. That is not who I am. This is about her and her moment. So let that, to go through, let her be. And once she's done, I will then, and that's not the moment for me to start trying to process or trying to, no. I let her be as long as she's safe. If she's not safe and she's hurting herself or doing, then I will have to, intervene for her safety. Once she's done, then I will, in a very low tone of voice. She can be screaming and yelling all the way up to the top of her lungs, and I keep my tone of voice low as possible, but firm. And I can tell her, Angelica, I need you to go to your room. And she knows in her room she has her, calming area. And she will go, da, 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 da. Angelica, I understand. I need you to go to your room. So very soft, very firm. But you're doing this, you're doing that, and you said, that's not the moment for me to engage into who said, what said, you promised. No. I understand. I still need you to go to your room. And if I have to repeat it 20 times, I'll repeat it 20 times. I try to assist her to go to her room if that's okay with her. And then once she's done over there and she totally calms down, she comes out, and then we're going to process. We're going to have our feelings chart. How do you feel? How come do you feel that way? What happened? What did it trigger? What can we do different? If he has to apologize, apologize. And it's not only I'm sorry and then I'm gone. It's like apologize and then you need to amend what you just said. So you have to do something for me or for whomever, her sister or whomever she was, to amend what she said or what she did. Okay. So that's how I handle that. Also, for daily anxiety, we have fidget toys. She likes to draw, so drawing is very calming for her. She has her blanket, and that's very soothing for her. We have the headphones that also help, and the music. So she already knows things that she uses to release and help with the anxiety. And I always tell my parents, we have to practice with our kids how to identify and express their feelings. Kids with autism and without autism, boys and girls, so they can feel safe. Boys are allowed to cry, and there's nothing wrong with that. Boys are allowed to say and to express, I feel scared, and there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean that he's less of a man. It doesn't mean that now you're acting like a girl. We need to start cutting with those nonsenses and irrational ideas, So we have to let them and practice expressing feelings every day, the same way that you practice with them every day, so they can learn how to get potty trained, so they can learn how to brush their teeth, so they can learn how to take a shower. Well, let me tell you, so they can learn how to express their feelings. And we need to learn that every day. We don't wait for them to learn how to brush their teeth when they have cavities in their teeth. Oh, now that they have cavities in their teeth, this is a good moment to start brushing our teeth. No, We start from the beginning. Why? Because we don't want them to get cavities. So we need to start from the beginning, teaching them how to deal with their feelings, so we avoid those explosions that we have sometimes of out of frustration. It's not at the moment of frustration that we're going to start teaching them. It's before.
Right. I think a couple of points to what you mentioned, Yasmin. I think we talk. I know we did an episode of this in Spanish for Cafecito, but it's like the idea of the rage cycle, and it's like teaching the some of the self-awareness skills for them to notice, like when they're having like rumblings, and before they escalate to that explosive moment too. But it's a skill like anything, and like you were mentioning, it's all children need to learn how to self-regulate their emotions. It's not just folks with autism.
Yes.
I think, Maggie, you also had a question related to this management of stress and anxiety.
Yes, it was, Jasmine, thank you so much for the descriptions that you provided, because sometimes we think of anxiety as just, one thing, and you gave us, it's more of an umbrella that encompasses different types of anxiety and different types of triggers. So that was really helpful. And you touched upon, how to handle anxiety with our kiddos. How can we better manage stress and anxiety, ourselves too? Can you describe some tips?
Yes. And this is very important because our kids, they feed out of our energy. Kids are very especially all of them. I totally believe that our kids, they have like this radar, and they know when they feel safe and when they are not. It's like our pets, the same thing. You don't have to communicate with your pet, and your pet knows when you feel stressed, when you're afraid of them. They know, they have this radar that they can sense that. And our kids are the same way. So we need to learn and how to manage our stress, because they feed out of us. So it is important to start your day by taking a few minutes for yourself, in the morning, morning coffee, morning tea, protein shake, whatever you take, or water, I don't care. Just, wake up a little bit earlier, go outside and have that moment for yourself. Avoid electronics. Taking time for yourself is not like, okay, then I'm going to Facebook and drink my coffee. No. Or watch the news. No. Isolate from social media, isolate from electronics. Just you yourself, sitting down with yourself, which is the scariest thing ever. That's why people use so many electronics, because they want to get distracted. So sit with yourself. Learn to say no. We need to learn to say no. Moms, we need to learn how to say no. We don't need to explain why. No, because I can't. And we don't need to feel guilty about it. Okay? It's very good to invest on professional growth or personal growth. There's a lot of podcasts, books that are very good. Music. I was like, for example, when I need and I'm in a lot of stress, like in this past 2 months that I've been in a lot of stress and anxiety. And I listen to, like, Sia has very good music that are very empowered. Alicia Keys, Carrie Underwood, Katy Perry. I mean, I have a whole playlist of them, and it's like, you are a woman that are kicking necks, and you can, made it through, and that really helps me a lot. Do things that you love. Take time to do something that you love. When I was over there in Puerto Rico and I was dealing with so many stressful situations, there was a moment that I said, I need someone who stay with my mom and take care of her because I need a few hours. And I just went to one of the malls over there, and I needed that time for myself, just me, myself, and I ate alone with myself. I had a blast. It was very, very relaxing. Spend time with people that share your same interest. I mean, you can um, call someone, let them know, hey, I need to vent, and just vent everything. It doesn't have even to make sense, you know, you just say it as you feel it and as you think it. All those racing thoughts, all those ideas, just let it out verbally, blah, 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 blah. Even if it doesn't connect, even if you start talking about mom and dad, and then you jump from there to your trip to Spain, and then you jump about the sale, about the shoes that you bought, and nothing is connected with anything. Just let it out. And for the other person, please let the other person know, I just need you to listen, and I'm just going to vent. And the other person is aware of it. Time management, being organized, organize your day. Used I am affirmations, I am this, I am that, I am, positive affirmation. There's a lot of I am affirmations on YouTube that are very good. And you just repeat it yourself out loud in front of a mirror. And it's not that you're crazy. Okay, I do it and I'm not crazy. So, and that make you feel empowered. Why out loud? Because give you more, and you can try it, it's true, you feel more empowered with it. So those are, so, and the same thing that we are doing, that I'm giving you recommendations for, let's do it as a family. Let's do it with our kiddos also with autism. Why not? Let's do it together. Okay, so it doesn't feel like awkward. We can make it fun, we can make it like a game.
You're kind of leading by example.
Exactly, like Angelica, she gets in front of the mirror and she will tell herself, I look amazing today, oh my gosh, I'm gorgeous. I do the same thing, oh my gosh, I look great today, dude, look at me. So she copies me. And that levels up her confidence. There's nothing wrong with that. We need to start breaking and cutting those cycles and those irrational ideas that we have been conditioned to from generations to generations. Let's cut that and let's do something different. If we want different results, we need to do things different.
And Maggie, I know that in the Spanish version of the show, you also had mentioned a good point too of something to get checked out.
Yes. When we touched upon the panic attacks, there's, sometimes our body is going through the stress and anxiety, from our daily life. It's also important to just keep in mind, you might want to visit with medical professional. Not only, we're talking about the mental and going to psychologists, going to psychiatrists, but also getting blood work done and seeing where you're at, see if there's anything else that's contributing to the start of a panic attack. Like sometimes hormones, in particular thyroid hormones, may cause your body to go on a roller coaster. So just it goes back to what Jasmine mentioned earlier. Start the day, take time for yourself, take a few minutes for yourself, assess your body, see how you're feeling, and invest that time in centering yourself, getting to know where you're at. Go speak with a medical professional, see what they can find, because there might be a biological root to what you're feeling too.
I want to answer to Kiara. She has a daughter that she's a freshman this year at the largest school in Hillsborough County, and she broke down. So she started on Wednesday. Kiara and she has been putting keynotes on the comments. She's amazing. Thank you, Kiara. Really appreciate that. So and she said that her daughter is not on the spectrum. Kiara, a lot of affirmations for her, a lot of talk to her, remind her about other situations that she has struggled with and how successful she has gone. Listen to her. Listen. Not just quiet. It's not for you to say anything. Just listen and try to see the world from her point of view, from her eyes. Remember when you were also in high school and you were her age and you were a freshman. Okay, let's try to put ourselves at that moment and try, like, together, how can we better work this out, is, and ask her, how, what do you need from me? And if she says I don't know, that is okay. You can let her know, sweetheart, I do not know either. It is important for our kids to understand that we're not, as moms and parents, sometimes we don't have things figured out. We don't have it all together. We don't know. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to do it. We don't know where we're going. We don't even know sometimes what do we want right now from life, because we go from different stages, and that's okay to let them know. But that reassurance, that, sweetheart, we don't know, but we will figure it out together. I'm here to support you, you know whatever is needed. And you let me know if you need something, and you don't know, that's perfectly fine, that's okay. But that reassurance, and remind her, what have you used in the past that help you? Well, let's try it and see if that works this time. Let's Google it, let's find out, or let's go to someone who can help us. Let's call someone, and maybe that someone can guide us. you know but it is very scary when there's those type of changes. um yes, starting a new school is like starting a new job. Those are big changes, and they're very scary. you
And
know
Yeah.
we talked about it on the last episode as well, as setting up a routine. And maybe a suggestion would be is, allowing that time as soon as you get home from school, instead of jumping immediately into homework and getting things done. And okay, we got to get that done before dinner. Maybe having that time to decompress, and making
Mm.
that time, like setting aside, sometime, like if you're working, maybe she could text you and like, hey, what's going on? Or if you're home with her, setting aside some time to like just go for a walk outside, being out and like away from everything, just to get that time to recenter. And if she wants to be in silence, then let it not be awkward. Just be present with her. And if she wants to talk, then, listening, but just kind of like allowing that time, building that time into your day would be important
yes.
to de-stress.
And now that you mentioned the texting, Maggie, it reminds me that sometimes I do this with my daughter. She's going to college now, so she's a little antsy about it. And just, there's a lot, sometimes on Facebook, there's these positive motivational messages. And I just get a screenshot and I just send it to her out of the blue moon. Or if she has on her purse, on her wallet, and you can put something like a little message, I love you, I'm proud of you. And that's it, like a sticky note. And you just put it on her wallet or whatever. Whenever she opens the wallet, she's going to find it, or her notebook, whatever. It's something like a surprise. And that helps a lot, a lot. So sometimes it's not so much what we say. Sometimes we don't have to say anything, just those little tiny seeds that we put here and there, and that's it.
Yeah, I love that, because it's not only like benefiting from what the actual message that you're passing on, but it's also like showing that you're there and that you're there to support her.
Correct.
Yeah. So do we have any other questions or comments?
No, from the audience, I think that's
okay. So we're almost to the end of the show, but I didn't want us to leave without saying a huge thank you to Yasmin for sharing all this information, not with our audience, and also we're very happy to have you back.
I'm happy.
So I do also want to remind our coffee break audience that coffee break with card audience that we're going to be airing every 2 weeks from now on instead of every week. So our next episode is going to be on August 26th, where it will be we will be discussing how to create and modify a social narrative. I also wanted to let everyone know that on October 1st, we are going to be joining forces with other organizations to bring you Cards Arts in the Park event at this year's Yes Fair event. So if you would like to donate 1 or 2, for those who are interested in maybe being exhibitors, if you would like to donate 1 or 2 20-minute adapted art or movement activities, related workshops or classes at the multi-exhibitor event, please reach out to Lourdes, and her email is lourdesq@usf.edu, and just for more information. And also for those who are interested in attending, you could also reach out to her as well. And then, before we go, I do also want to ask a little favor. If we're going to be sharing a link in the comments section where to a short evaluation. It's 5 or 6 questions, just to let us know what you think of our episode and to give us feedback. And it also lets us justify our time being used for being here on the air. And also, please don't forget to give us a like, to share this video with think who also benefit from this content. And please don't forget to meet us here every other Friday around 10:45-ish so we can spill the beans on important topics related to autism as we drink coffee or tea with you. And until then, we wish you good vibes and hot coffee.
Bye, guys. Thank you for
you. Have a good weekend, everyone.